Okay, so defensive security intro. Introducing defensive security related topics: SOC, DFIR, malware analysis, and SIEM. So, in previous lesson we learned about offensive security, which aims to identify and exploit system vulnerabilities to enhance security measures. This includes exploiting software bugs, leveraging insecure setups, and taking advantage of unenforced access control policies. Among other strategies, red teams and penetration testers specialize in these offensive techniques. In this lesson, we'll examine the counterpart, defensive security. It is concerned with two main tasks: preventing intrusions from occurring, detecting intrusions when they occur, and responding properly. Blue teams are part of the defensive security landscape. Okay, so blue teams are just the opposite of red teams. We'll be defending this time. Alright, some of the tasks that are related to defensive security include user cybersecurity awareness. Training users about cybersecurity helps you protect. Okay, let's also do one thing. Let's reset the progress so we can like show this in real time. By the way, if you do study, this will not take 25 minutes. Okay, some of the tasks that are related to defensive security include use cybersecurity awareness. Training users about cybersecurity helps protect against net attacks targeting their system. Okay, just train your users about cybersecurity. Documenting and managing assets. We need to know the systems and devices we must manage and protect adequately. Sure, so we should know what are we trying to protect. Updating and patching systems, ensuring that computers, servers, network devices are correctly updated and patched against any known vulnerabilities, weakness. Setting up preventive security devices, firewall. So a security tool, hardware or software that is used to filter network traffic by stopping unauthorized incoming and outgoing traffic. Great, that is a firewall. An intrusion prevention system, IPS. Intrusion prevention system, is a device or application that detects and stops intrusions attempts proactively. They are usually deployed in front of the protected asset and block any potential threat from reaching their target. Simple. This will just block straight up. Firewall, what will it will also stop unauthorized incoming and outgoing traffic. IPS will deployed in front of the protected asset. Okay, so first there will be firewall, then there will be IPS, and then there will be the protected asset like a server or something, or even a router. Block any potential threat from reaching their target. Great. Are critical components of preventive security. Firewalls control what network traffic can go inside and what can leave the system or network. Sure. IPS blocks any network traffic that matches present rules and attack signature. Okay, this it already said it, that firewalls will control what goes in and out, and IPS will block the traffic that matches present rules and attack signatures. So if an attack has been seen before, it will be blocked. Yeah, so IPS will only work if the attack is already been done before, if the attack is not a 0-day. Sure. Setting up logging and monitoring devices. Proper network logging and monitoring devices are essential for detecting malicious activity and intrusions. If a new unauthorized device appears on our network, we should be able to detect it. Best thing ever, you should know how to log the devices that are connected to your network. There is much more defensive security aside from the above. We will also cover following related topics. Security operations, SOC. Security Operations Center is a team of IT security professionals tasked with monitoring, preventing, detecting, investigating, and responding to threats with company's network and system. Great. Threat intelligence, digital forensics, incident responders, malware analysis. Which team focuses on defensive security? We just learned blue teamers, right? So, which is the defensive security? By the way, it could also be SOC, but blue team. Let's go with areas of defensive security. In this task, we'll cover two main topics related to defensive security. Security operations, SOC, where we covered threat intelligence. Digital forensic and incident responders, where we can also cover malware analysis. So SOC, a security, is a team of cybersecurity professionals that monitors the network and its system to detect malicious cybersecurity events. Some of the main areas SOC interest for is vulnerabilities. Wherever system vulnerability weakness discovered, it is essential to fix it by installing proper update for patch or patch. Where fix is unavailable, the necessary measures should be taken to prevent attackers from exploiting it. Although remediating vulnerabilities is vital to a SOC, it is not necessarily assigned to them. Okay. Policy violations. A security policy is set of rules required to protect the network and systems. For example, it might be policy violation if users upload confidential company data to an online storage service. Unauthorized activity. Consider the case where a user login name are stolen. Login name and password are stolen. They could have just said username and password are stolen, but whatever. And the attacker uses them to log in. Attackers uses them to log into a network. A SOC must detect and block such an event as soon as possible before further damage is done. So, and network intrusions. No matter how good your security is, there's always a chance for an intrusion. An intrusion can occur when a user clicks on a malicious link or when an attacker exploits a public server. Either way, an intrusion occurs. We must detect it as soon as possible to prevent further damage. So this is very simple. What does SOC do? It checks for vulnerabilities and patch them. They enforce policies violations. They enforce policy violation. They check for unauthorized activity and network intrusions. Simple. This is what a SOC team looks like. Threat intelligence. In this context, intelligence refers to information you gather about actual potential enemies. A threat is any action that can disrupt or adversarially affect a system. Threat intelligence collects information to help the company better prepare against potential adversaries. The purpose would be to achieve a threat-informed defense. Different companies have different adversaries. Some adversaries might seek to steal customer data from a mobile operator. However, other adversaries are interested in halting the production in a petroleum refinery. Example, adversaries include a national state cyber army working for political reasons and a ransomware group acting for financial purposes. Based on the company target, we can expect adversaries. So basically, you should know what your threat is going to do. Like, how are you going to come under a threat, right? So that is not an issue. Purpose would be to achieve a threat-informed defense. So yeah, that was self-explanatory. Intelligence needs data. Data has to be collected, processed, analyzed. Data is collected from local sources such as network logs and public sources such as forums. Data processing arranges it into a format suitable for analysis. The analysis phase seeks to find more information about the targets, about the attackers and their motives. Moreover, it aims to create a list of recommendations and actionable steps. Learning about your adversaries lets you know their tactics, techniques, and procedures. As a result of threat intelligence, we identify the threat actor, adversary, and predict their activity. Consequently, we can mitigate their attacks and prepare a response strategy. So this is simple. If you know your attacker, you are able to better defend yourself. Digital forensics and incident response, DFIR. The section is about digital forensic and incident response. We'll cover digital forensic, incident response, malware analysis. Simple. Digital forensics. Forensics is the application of science to investigate crimes and establish facts with the use of spread of digital systems such as computers and smartphones. A new bunch of forensics was born to investigate related crimes, computer forensics, which later evolved into digital forensics. Okay. In defense security, the focus of digital forensics shift to analyzing evidence of an attack and its perpetrators, and other areas such as intellectual property, theft, cyber espionage, and possession of unauthorized content. Okay. Consequently, digital forensics will focus on different areas such as file systems. Okay, so there are different areas in which we do digital forensics, such as file system. Analyzing a digital forensic image, low-level copy of a system storage reveal much more information, such as installed programs, created files partially, overwritten files and deleted files. Okay, so if an attacker deletes the file, you can recover them, something like that. System memory. If an attacker runs their malicious program in memory without saving it to disk, taking a forensic image, low-level copy of the system memory is the best way to analyze its content and learn about the attack. Okay, this is great. System logs. This is very self-explanatory, that you will just check the system logs and you'll find the thing. We'll still read it though. Each client and server computer maintains different log files about what is happening. Log files provide plenty of information about what happened on a system. Even if the attacker tries to clear the traces, some traces will remain. Network logs. Logs of the network packets that have traversed. Okay, logs of the network packets that have traversed a network would help and answer more questions about whether an attack is occurring and what it entails. Simple. There will be all these logs. There will be logs everywhere. You just have to find it, and that is what digital forensics is. Incident response. There will be an incident and you will be the responder. An incident usually refers to data breach or cyber attack. However, in some cases it can be something less critical, such as misconfiguration, an intrusion attempt, or policy violation. Examples of cyber attack include an attacker making our network or systems inaccessible, defacing, changing the public website, and data breach. Stealing company data. Okay. How would you respond to cyber attack? Incident response specifies the methodology that should be followed to handle such a case. Alright. The aim is to reduce damage and recover in the shortest time possible. Ideally, you would develop a plan that is ready for incident response. Alright. So you just have to respond as fast as possible to any kind of attack. Alright. The 4 major phases of incident response are: preparation. This includes a team trained and ready to handle incidents. Ideally, various measures are put into place to prevent incidents from happening in the first place. Yeah, but still, that those incidents do end up happening no matter what you do. Detection and analysis. The team has the necessary resources to detect any incident. Moreover, it is essential to analyze any detected incident further to learn about its severity. Alright, you will detect and then analyze the attack or the incident that happened. Containment, eradication, and recovery. Once an incident is detected, it is crucial to stop it from affecting other systems, eliminate it, and recover the affected systems. For instance, when we notice that a system is infected with a computer virus, we would like to contain the virus from spreading to other systems, eradicate the virus, and ensure proper system recovery. So this is simple as it gets. You are supposed to contain the virus and then eradicate it and then recover the device that was affected. Post-incident activity. After a successful recovery, a report is produced and lesson learned is shared to prevent similar future incidents. So first is preparation, right? Okay, this is like a loop. You can see you do preparation, then you do detection and analysis, then you do containment and eradication and recovery, then you do post-incident activity, and from that, using that report that is produced, we get into preparation again, so we could prevent similar future incidents. Very simple. Let's get into malware analysis. Okay, we'll have to answer questions now. Malware analysis stands for malicious software. Software refers to program, documents, and files you can save on disk or send over the network. Malware can include many types, such as a virus, piece of code, part of program that attaches itself to a program. It is designed to spread from one computer to another and works by altering, overwriting, and deleting files once it infects a computer. The result ranges from the computer becoming slow to unusable. Okay, simple enough. Trojan horses is a program that shows one desirable function but hides a malicious function underneath. For example, A victim might download a video player from shady website that gives the attacker complete control over the system. Ransomware is a malicious program that encrypts the user files. Encryption makes the file unreadable. Without knowing the encryption password, the attacker offers the user the encryption password if the user is willing to pay a ransom. These are very simple malware attacks. If you are into cyber, you must know about these. This is a nice image. We can see binary that a computer is hacked. Oh, we are going to analyze the virus. Malware analysis aims to learn about such malicious program using various means. Static analysis work when inspecting the malicious program without running it. This usually requires solid knowledge of assembly language, the processor instruction set, the computer fundamentals instruction. So it's obviously static analysis very hard because you need to know assembly language. For this you would use programs like Ghidra or IDA. Dynamic analysis works by running the malware in controlled environment and monitoring its activities. It lets you observe how the malware behaves when running. So you'll probably use VirtualBox or something for this, so the malware could not affect your host machine. Okay, let's answer the questions now. What would you call a team of cybersecurity professionals that monitors network and system for malicious events? We already know the answer to this. It was digital forensics and incident response. Wait, sorry, I mean security operations center. I read the question wrong. Team of cyber professionals monitors. Okay, they are just monitoring the network and its system for malicious events. Yeah, it is security operation. What is DFIR? This is the answer to that question. What does DFIR stand for? We just learned this. Digital forensics and incident response. So that is the answer to that. What kind of malware requires the user to pay money to regain access to their files? This is of course ransomware, which is right here. So we just read it. Now let's do some practical example of defensive security. So we are given a scenario. Let us pretend you are the SOC analyst responsible for protecting a bank. The bank SOC uses security information event management SIEM, which gathers security related information for various sources, presents them in one dashboard. If SIEM finds something suspicious, the alert will be generated. So it is very simple. There is already a SIEM, so we'll see. Not all alerts are malicious. However, it is up to the analyst to use their expertise in cybersecurity to investigate which ones are harmful. For example, you may encounter an alert where a user has failed multiple login attempts. While suspicious, this kind of thing happens, especially if the user has forgotten their password and continues to try to log in. Additionally, there might be alert related to connection from unknown IP address. An IP address is like a home address for a computer in the internet. It tells other computers where to send the information you request. When these addresses are unknown, it could mean that someone new is trying to connect, or someone is attempting unauthorized access. Simple. This is basic networking, how an attack works. Simulating a SIEM. We have prepared a simplified. Okay, so we have a SIEM. We'll just check the SIEM. Actually, we should read it. The action will static side on the right. Follow the step-by-step instruction provided with the simulation to navigate through the events. Locate the flag. A flag is a series of characters with form like this. Use the flag to answer question from lesson here in TryHackMe, like one below. Okay, so let's do this site. Inspect the alerts in your SIEM dashboard. Find the malicious IP address from the alerts. Make a note of it, and then click on the alert to proceed. Okay, fine, very nice. So we have these successful authentication to port this from this IP address. Unauthorized connection attempt detected from IP address to port 22. The John is okay. Multiple login attempts from field. Account password has expired. Inspect the alerts. Find the malicious IP address. This looks like a malicious access because unauthorized connection attempt detected, and it was successfully authenticated. So from port 22 they have accessed SSH. Okay, so we did that. There are websites on the internet that allow you to check the reputation of an IP address, see whether it's malicious or not. Okay, so we should go back and we should copy this IP address. Wow, it did not let me copy the IP address. Let's paste it, let's submit. ipscanner.thm was found in our database. Confident of being malicious is 100%. ISP is China Mobile Communications. Domain name, city, everything. So that attack came from China. There are many open source databases out there like Abuse IPDB and Cisco Talos Intelligence, where you can perform reputation and location check for the IP address. Most security analysts use these tools to aid them with alert investigations. You can also make the internet safer by reporting malicious IP, for example, on Abuse IPDB. Now that we know that IP address is malicious, we need to escalate it to a staff member. We shouldn't worry too much if it was a failed authentication attempt, but you probably noticed that the successful authentication attempt from malicious IP. Let's declare a small incident event and escalate it. There is some great staff working at the company, but you wouldn't want to escalate this to wrong person who is not in charge of your team or department. Choose whom would you escalate this event to. Obviously, we'll be escalating this to SOC team lead. So let's choose Will Griffin. Okay, you got the permission to block the malicious IP address, and now you can proceed and implement the block rule. Block the malicious IP address on firewall and find the message they left for you. So let's paste this IP and block it, and we have blocked the IP address. So we have the flag now, thread blocked. So let's paste in the flag. Before we paste in, what's next? In this lesson, we discovered the different subfields of SOC analyst, malware analyst, and defense, digital forensics, and incident response, and experienced firsthand how to deal with the alerts in simulated SIEM environment. While we covered a lot, in-depth and complexity of this field means there is more to learn and explore. The lessons learned here will serve as your foundation as cyber threats evolve, demanding continuous learning, vigilance, and adaptation. Continue learning by checking out the next lesson in the series, Search Skills. This lesson will teach you valuable techniques for searching information online to aid your investigation and learning. Okay. Nice. Let's go. Okay, how am I on cyber kill chain? So that was that was defense security intro. We'll head to search skills in the next video.